In this video, we're going to explore the world between digital ministry and in-person ministry, a thing that I like to call hybrid ministry. Welcome to the Hybrid Ministry Show, my friends. And in today's episode, what I want to look at is the competition between hybrid ministry and in-person ministry. In fact, linked right here at the very top of the video is one of my favorite episodes I've ever done, where my friend Josh sat down with me and he asked me to take an in-person youth ministry program and make it hybrid, or bring about a hybrid component. And so we're going to explore what exactly I mean by that, what exactly is digital ministry, and make sure that you stick around to the end, because I have a resource that I think will help you absolutely crush, lock in, and make your summer youth ministry social media absolutely pop. I have a resource for you. It's going to blow your mind. Welcome, my friends, to the Hybrid Ministry Show. Well, hey everyone, welcome to the Hybrid Ministry Show. If you and I haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Nick Clayson. I'm a youth pastor of 14 and a half years, and I have been pursuing this thing called hybrid ministry for a while now. And let me just help you understand some of the reasons why for me. So for me, there are kind of three core statistics. There's several out there, honestly, but three that really stick with me is that Gen Z, and we can assume Gen Alpha because we don't have data yet on them, but we can assume this to be true. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they use their mobile device more than they use any other device combined. Furthermore, 69% of students own a smartphone by, get this, the age of 12. We do have data for them. And then also 90%, according to Pew Research, use YouTube. 90% of teenagers say that they use YouTube. And I get it, man. Like, if you're a youth pastor, you're like, phones are a distraction, got to get rid of them, use paper Bibles, digital Bibles don't count, all the things. Like, I've heard it, I've been there, I've been a part of youth ministry for a long time. But there's a verse in Jeremiah chapter 29, no, not 29:11, but right before that verse, Jeremiah is having a conversation with God, and here's what God says to Jeremiah. He says, "You should build homes, plan to stay, plant gardens, eat the foods that they produce, marry and have children, then find spouses for them, so that you may have many grandchildren. Multiply, do not dwindle away." But you got to understand the context here, which we don't do for Jeremiah 29:11 very often, is that the Israelites are stuck as captives in Babylon. And what God is telling Jeremiah to do is he's saying, stop complaining, stop trying to find a way out, stop trying to leave. Instead, invest in where you live. And youth pastors, church communications people, discipleship pastors, college pastors, digital ministry is not going anywhere. You may not like it. You may not even think it's the most effective. But the majority of millennials, Gen Z, and we can assume Generation Alpha, say that a digital version of church is valuable to them and one that they would lean into. And it doesn't mean that their in-person attendance is going to go away. That's a lot of the fears of us in church leadership, is that if we offer a digital component, they're just going to choose that instead of coming to church in person. But far from it. We're also seeing in this generation, more than even older generations, that community is so much more important to them, so they don't want to forsake the in-person moments. And so when we take the in-person moments and the best that it has to offer, and we take the digital things and the best that it has to offer, and we find that sweet spot right in the middle, we find what I call hybrid ministry. A great example of it is honestly Home Depot, man. Think about it. Like, you throw on your New Balances and you throw on your cargo shorts on a Saturday morning, and you got a project, man. You're going to Home Depot, but you don't really have like an agenda, right? You're just walking around. You're just kind of like, you're taking in the smell of lumber, and you're just kind of exploring what the hallways and the aisles of Home Depot have to offer. Other times, man, like, you don't have time, right? You go online, you make an order so that it's delivered to your doorstep, because you don't have time to just live out your full dad mode experience. But my favorite, honestly, version to experience Home Depot is while I'm in the store on their app. Because their app, if you haven't seen it yet, their app shows you where every single thing in their entire store is located. And so that's what I think we should be doing as youth pastors, finding a way to intersect where teenagers already admit that they're spending their time, not forsaking the good elements of gathering together in community and accountability and all those things, but also leaning into this hybrid sort of moment. And so what I want to do is I want to give you one of the easiest ways to kind of step foot into this hybrid space. And it's by upticking your social media engagement. Now, here's the thing. A lot of youth pastors, and if you've been following me along on this channel for a while, post announcements on their feed, just assuming that social media is another announcement platform. But the reality is that that's not what social media is best made for. It doesn't mean that we can't still get the word out about what we have going on, but what it does mean and what we should be doing is that we should be intersecting and invading the lives of students on the places that they spend their time, including TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Remember, 90% of teenagers say that they use YouTube in the ways that they're consuming it. Reels, TikTok videos, and YouTube Shorts. And so the good news is that you can create the same type of content, short form, vertical based video that goes on TikTok, that goes on Instagram, that goes on YouTube, and maybe even Facebook if you choose to cross post it there as well. But you don't have to create multiple different types of content like I did when I first started in youth ministry 15 years ago. Instead, you post that 180 or 1080 by 1920 vertical based video, and then you post it in all the places that you want to post it. Don't have a TikTok account? No big deal. Post it on Instagram and YouTube. Don't have a YouTube account? No big deal. Post it on TikTok and Instagram. Don't have an Instagram account? No problem. Post it on TikTok and YouTube. Don't have any of them? Start a YouTube account and start posting YouTube Shorts, because 90% of your teenagers self-identify that they're on it. So what should you post? I'm glad that you asked. Let's dive in. So I'm so excited to roll this out because I can't lie. I have been looking for a thing to provide for youth pastors on a social media platform landscape that is custom. That's not just a bunch of pretty graphics, but also doesn't add more work to your plate. And I can't lie, I've been wrestling with what kind of service can I offer? I think I have something, at least messaging wise, for youth pastors, but once they get into it, it becomes a lot of work and it gets a little bit overwhelming. So if you're watching here on screen, you'll see my screen, and this is what I'm offering. And so I'm offering this brand new program called Seasonal Social Media, which essentially is 40 posts, 3 months worth. If you follow my recommended posting strategy, I recommend that youth pastors post 3 times per week, and this will satisfy that reality. And so what you get is 3 months of custom youth ministry social media content, and it all costs less than $20. And here's the good news. Just like this ad copy here says, it's not just content, it really is a full social media strategy. Included in the download, if you choose to go ahead and do this, is you'll get my complete hybrid strategy guide, which will detail and outline a lot of what I have just been saying on this video and I've been saying in other podcasts for years and years and years. And so this will lay the foundation and the philosophy, and then this is what you're actually going to get. You're going to take this social media package, and it's got 2 different categories in it. It's got completely done for you content that you literally download and you post and you plug and you play, set it and forget it. The other 50% is custom content. So you're going to be filming this, but the good news is you don't need to film every single thing yourself. You don't need to edit everything yourself. And if you don't have any of those skills, I'll walk you through how to do all of that on this podcast, as well as in this little document here. If you go ahead and download this thing, where you can import some of what I have to offer that's custom, but I have templates and I have layovers and I have scripts and I have things that you can do and things that you should say, and all of those things that you can edit in an in-app editor like a TikTok or an Instagram Reels, or even over on something like CapCut. And so you got, like I said, you got done for you, you got things that are still left for you to shoot, but I provided all the assets that you're going to need for it. Here are things that you can buy. All you really honestly need is your camera phone. You can upgrade some microphones, which I do recommend upgrading some microphones, so you can check out some of those links there. And optionally, if you want to buy a better camera, if you have a little bit of budget, here's what I recommend. Here is also your posting schedule, okay? So the week of June 2nd, post this video, then post this video, then post this video. The week of June 9th, this video, this video, this video, all the way on through. Don't like my schedule? No big deal. Make your own. All right, here you go. But what's going to happen, let me show you first. When you open these up, here's what the done for you package looks like. You open it up and there are 4 different types of videos. And so there are Bible verse videos, and there are 5 different Bible verse videos. And so what you can do is, you'll see right here, you just very simply post a Bible verse, add a caption, and you're good to go. This one right here is one of my all-time favorites. I sell it over on Download Youth Ministry as well, but it is emoji phraseology. And I combine these two together because I used to make these for stories, but now I'm trying to make them for reels. So see if you can comment what this summer edition emoji phraseology is intending to say. The correct answer, of course, is sunburn. You continue on down. I have 5 of those. In here, I have 5 different spiritual practice videos. So for example, a student scrolling and they stop across one of your reels or TikToks or YouTubes that you post, and you encourage them to actually lean in to some spiritual practices that they can actually, while they're on social media, connect with God in a real and meaningful way. And so this one is a 30-second, take time to pray, and this timer counts down that. And then lastly, this is the only non-video post. These are like carousel-based posts, like that you can post on Instagram. But the good news, once again, is you can also post photo slides on TikTok, and you can also post that on your YouTube post feed as well on your community. It used to be called the community tab, now it's just called the post feed. And so I created these. What do you do if you feel anxious? And it's got Bible verses along with a header of an instruction of what you can do. And I got it for 5 different categories about anxiety, loneliness, giving up, temptation, or anger. So those are the done for you. Those are turnkey, okay? Here's the custom for you, all right? So in every single one of these, there's an instruction. And in the instruction video, it tells you exactly what to do, along with gives you an example, along with, in most cases, gives you some sort of script. So in this case, this is Bible trivia. You hop on your cell phone, you shoot a selfie style video under 60 seconds, and you simply ask these questions. And all you gotta do is print this out or pull this up on your computer screen and read it directly to the camera. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and you can post the video, and you can overlay it with one of these overlays. In fact, right here on screen, if you're watching on YouTube, is an example of me editing a video that I did for our ministry in our context, using this exact same overlay, using the TikTok video editor. When I was done and I posted it, TikTok now auto saves my video without a watermark, and so then I could go to Instagram and post that same video, and then I could also go over to YouTube Shorts and post that exact same video. If you don't have TikTok, you can also use it in the Instagram Reels editor by using the little sticker button, and then put this in, drag it to full screen. And the only thing you're probably gonna have to do at the end, because Instagram doesn't auto save your Reels that you post, go onto Google Chrome, search download Instagram Reel without watermark, save that video, and then go post it wherever else you choose to post it, perhaps TikTok or perhaps YouTube. Let me just recommend, though, if you do have TikTok, just start there. And it's a lot easier than some of these other platforms to start with. So that's Bible trivia. This one right here is either your devotional or your recap content. So let me speak to what your options are here. You preach a sermon every week. So get on your cell phone, again, selfie style video, less than 60 seconds, and just riff on one of the points of your last sermon. So for example, you talked about God is love. Pull open your camera and say, you know what? Sometimes it's hard to love people. And go on and talk for 60 seconds. I know you can do it. All right, here are 3 best practices with that. Number 1, always add a caption. Number 2, add some sort of title on screen. All right, and then number 3, add music. And then a bonus best practice, a hack, is do not, listen to me, do not reference your in-person gathering. Not that you shouldn't, not that people shouldn't have to know about it, but don't say something like, you know, last Wednesday we talked about such and such. Leave that be. On social media, people are stumbling upon your content organically. They have no frame of reference for what you're talking about. So you can both serve your current students because they're going to remember what you just talked about, along with any potential new viewers. The other thing you do is if you're only given 60 seconds, which is what I recommend to keep under, is that if you say under 60 seconds, saying, last Wednesday night it was great. We had a lot of good time. Remember that dessert auction we had? Don't forget, those of you that were there, maybe if you weren't, that we talked about love. You just wasted like 5, 8, 7 seconds of your precious 60-second real estate. Now, you don't have to just recap your videos. You can do, like, if you click on this little example here, this is a clip from a long form message that I do, which is what I recommend doing. If you see my hybrid strategy guys also included in here, I recommend long form versions of videos posted on YouTube. But for right now, if you're just downloading this pack and you're just focusing on social media, do some sort of devotional recap if you don't have a video of your sermon. If you do, go ahead and throw it into a service like OPUS.PRO, which is what we use to clip our long form down into short form. But again, if not, just use a Devo style video. Or if you don't have like a recap or something to say, you can use some of these scripts that I've created that you can just follow verbatim, follow some of the instructions, and you can post those and you'll be good to go. These right here are called man on the street style interviews. These are one of the lowest hanging fruit ways to interact with your students. You basically go around and you just interview them. And this is where you're gonna need like a microphone to buy. You can get a super cheap USB Bluetooth microphone that plugs directly into your phone, but you go around, you interview students. And what I always recommend doing is interviewing 5 to 8 students, ask them these same 5 questions, and then you can splice that up again in something like the TikTok editor or in something like CapCut. And I've also created this transparent overlays that you can use, that you can import in. So the question, would you rather sing instead of speak, or would you have to dance everywhere? Would you rather hop like a frog or moo whenever you get nervous? These are completely included. You can put those over. You can look like a pro. Add captions from the in-app editor that does it for you completely for free, and you are off to the races. And the last one here are some of my favorite style videos, these transition invite style videos. This is the best way to invite people to what's going on at your church. And so what I've done is I've created these videos here that are the beginning of a hook. And so you see right here, this guy on a skateboard, and immediately he falls on this railing right here. And what you would do is you would cut to a student on a railing somewhere else, sitting just like that, acting like he's the guy falling off the skateboard. And then he says, "Hey man, come to Youth Wednesday night. We'd love to see you." And I gave you 5 of these that you can do, right? Including right here in the instruction video, an example with the inspiration. I think it's inspiration from this bike video right here. Now, that's for 3 posts, per week. What if you got bandwidth for more? Well, right here is your bonus content, 100 different ideas. Here are 100 social challenge ideas. This is what we do in our ministry. We post 2 times a day, 5 days a week. And so the way that we accomplish that is from this playlist right here, linked right here in this document. And then here are all of the bonus ideas and ways that you can not only see examples, but also bonus content to be able to see, what our students are up to, and different categories that you can use for these different challenge style videos. This is the summer social media pack. All right, this will last you for 3 months. And so you download it now. You got 50% film your own content. And again, you can do selfie style videos in your office for these first 2 right here. And then you can hand these off to a volunteer on any given Wednesday or any given Sunday night. But I just want to encourage you that it is time to stop ignoring digital and social media. It is the way of the future, is where our students are. Again, not, as Hebrews 10:24 and 25 says, not forsaking and neglecting meeting together, but we're using the medium of the day. Just like the Apostle Paul wrote and sent letters, we're using the medium of the day that we have an advantage on of many other people in church history, because they wouldn't have had this kind of access into the lives of the people that they're trying to minister to. That's why I think hybrid ministry is so important, and that's why I think that this product is so valuable. So check it out down below, link in the description. And let me just say, I also post and host a weekly bonus podcast where I talk about everything I'm doing in hybrid ministry, everything I'm doing on social media, and everything I'm doing in my programming, and I'm only doing it for $4 per month. If you become a Patreon, a hybrid hero for $4 a month, you will get this social media pack, which is valued at greater than what 3 months worth of becoming a Patreon will be. You will get it completely for free, or at least completely included in your membership. It's $4 a month. Charge it to your church budget. Call it a developing expense, because that's what it is. It's a professional expense for you to become more creative, more hybrid in your programming and on your social media. And they'll also unlock this seasonal summer social media pack, which we're going to start releasing for every single season. And this right here is the summer version. I hope you guys found this episode helpful. Share it with a friend. Let somebody know that the summer seasonal social media pack is finally here. But until next time, and as always, my friends, don't forget to stay hybrid.